He was under siege all day long. Was that just on, he's got some injuries up front, and let's face it, the Rams can get after the quarterback. Was it just that, or did Brady, I don't know, look right to you today?
He looked physically right. He didn't, the weapons weren't there in terms of being able to get the ball out quick. Tyler Johnson had a bad game. You could tell he lost trust in him. Other guys didn't make plays. I talked to somebody in the Brady camp before this game, and they were saying, we just hope he doesn't get sacked 15 times. Like, they knew this was going to be an uphill battle because the offense, that Josh Wells guy is the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen. Oof. I know he was banged up with an ankle. He stinks. I mean, he was terrible. He was a turnstile all game.
I wish I had a camp, but Tom Brady, I will say this, he was rattled from the very beginning, and once you get after him early, you could just see in his head that he sped up his body clock all day, Michael.
Okay, I thought he didn't quite have the look that I'm used to begin the game. Maybe when he got bloodied, when he got that helmet underneath the chin,
right here.
And felt a little blood on Tommy's precious lips. Maybe that woke him up a little bit, but I thought he was a little glazed over to begin the game for some reason. But nothing like the Rams. Like, just run the miscues, Dave. Like, this became laughable with L.A., Ted. I'll just let you talk about this. But L.A. putting the ball on the ground. The center snaps the ball to midfield. I don't think Stafford called. I don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden, this was a big play right before the half. That could have been another 7 points. Akers puts it on the ground. Cup puts it on the ground here. Again, the snap to midfield. What the heck was going on with L.A.?
Well, they're not a buttoned-up operation. Let's face it. I mean, they got a lot of flash and they got a lot of sizzle. They got a young coach. They got a really good young coach, but they're not a buttoned-up operation at the end of the day. And so the one thing is, though, Michael, they're playing a team on the other side that's less buttoned up than they are.
Okay, let's get back to Brady's future. I thought the most revealing thing that was said or written about this was on the broadcast today, where it felt like Michaels and Collinsworth had some intel. They had a production run a quote. I thought those things were off the record, but they brought it to the broadcast. So they asked him about what would his perfect ending to his career be, and Tom told those guys, winning the Super Bowl, but I don't know that's this year. I'd love to end on a Super Bowl, but I think I'll know when I know. But there's a lot that's inconclusive. What the hell's going on, Gasper?
Yeah, I think inconclusive in terms of who's the coach going to be. I don't think he loves playing for Arians. I think, again, these are my words, not his. I think he thinks he's a buffoon. And I don't think he's wrong. And I also think who's going to be back? Who are my weapons? In his mind, again, this is not his words, but I just think this is the way that maybe he feels. You guys ran off Antonio Brown when I really needed him with the tough guy Timiak from Arians. So who's going to be the coach? Is Chris Godwin coming back? Is Gronk going to play again? Like, who am I going to have to throw with? Because as we saw in 2019, when he doesn't trust his guys, it's not fun for him anymore.
And I will say this. I think for Tom, at this point in his career, what he's been able to accomplish there in Tampa Bay, Michael, he feels as if he should have more say and more power on what goes on there. And so if he doesn't get kind of things squared up in how he wants them there, then maybe that's going to be a factor in him retiring.
Are they going to give him the power? I mean, I think at this point, I think they should. Like, I was sort of against that. I've always sort of been against that. I was against it here. But he wins at such a high level, and he easily could have won this thing today against all the odds. And if I'm Tampa, what else do I have going for? I'm Tampa.
It'd be unprecedented to give a player that much power, but what we're seeing Tom do as a player is unprecedented. Yeah. So, maybe you're right, Michael. Maybe in this case, if you're Tampa Bay, just give him whatever he wants.
The second he walks out the door, they go back to being the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
one of the worst
That's
franchises
correct.
in sports.
That's exactly right.
So go ahead, Tommy. What do you need?
I think he probably wants Godwin back, and he probably would like them to sign somebody like Odell Beckham Jr.